12 chaotic nights. Before this moment, Mixed Honor Wrestling was in a dark place, forced to restore order. 16 men entered a tournament with the hope of becoming the MHW World Champion. A rarity occurred as the first ever MHW Wrestling League was formed. A system was created and competitors stepped into it under the illusion of structure and fairness, but that illusion did not last. From the very beginning, MHW was corrupted by power. Samantha, the authority at the center of it all, did not just oversee the system. She shaped it. Matches were influenced, outcomes were questioned, and control was always one decision away from chaos. Sokolov stood as a champion built on dominance until the shadows around him began to grow darker than the title itself. ALEKSANDR rose from within that same world, a force born from pressure, expectation, and violence, eventually stepping out of Sokolov's shadow and changing the balance of MHW forever. And then there was the Office, a system within the system, a group that did not just compete, but controlled, manipulated, rewrote outcomes when necessary. Their influence spread across championships, careers, and rivalries, but control always creates resistance. The locker room began to fight back. Jerome Sharp, Joseph Wright, Barry Leonard, Jeremiah, Lance Jones. Each name became part of a growing war against authority, against manipulation, against a system that no longer felt like competition. And as the battles intensified, so did the mystery. Attacks in parking lots, suspicious recoveries, stolen victories, and unanswered questions surrounding who truly held the power in MHW. By the end of Season 1, nothing was stable. Champions were questioned, alliances were broken, and the foundation of Mixed Honor Wrestling began to collapse under its own weight. But the most dangerous part was not what had already happened. It was what had already been set in motion. Because in MHW, control is temporary, and chaos always finds its way back in.
Breaking news out of Los Angeles, California. A massive flooding has emerged at the Mixed Honor Wrestling Theater. Witnesses say someone was pulled from drowning thanks to our National Air Force team. The helicopter is hovering over the building on this windy day. We pray everyone gets out, the theater safe. And other news, Samantha still looks hot.
Shut up, Evans.
Remember, everyone, I am Mixed Honor Wrestling.
MHW, a better, brighter future.
MHW, 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 MHW.
We are proud to present to you Mixed Honor Wrestling, MHW.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mixed Honor Wrestling. We are live from the MHW Theater in Los Angeles, California. I'm Greg Norton alongside the Horseman Evans. And after the events at Crown or Collapse, this building is electric.
Electric? Greg, this place is unstable. And speaking of unstable, ALEKSANDR returns tonight after that suspension. One of the most dangerous competitors in MHW is officially allowed to compete.
We'll also hear from Hannibal and Gloria after that shocking betrayal at Crown or Collapse when Gloria hit Diana Wright with a chair.
Sokolov competes in his first match since vacating the MHW World Championship after that brutal attack in the parking lot months ago.
The new MHW World Champion Adam Ball in the office hold an official championship coronation later tonight.
As they should. Adam Ball survived Crown or Collapse. And now the smartest faction in this industry finally has the world title where it belongs.
Evans, who is going to kick off this crazy show tonight? Oh, come on. Of all the people to start the show with, we're going to kick it off with Samantha.
That's not how you do it, Greg. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the queen of your favorite show, MHW, the general manager of Mixed Honor Wrestling, your boss, Samantha.
Well, unfortunately, we are starting with the woman at the center of nearly every controversy in Mixed Honor Wrestling.
Controversy, Greg. Samantha delivered results. Adam Ball is world champion. The office controls this company. And whether these people like it or not, she earned the right to celebrate tonight.
And Jeremiah was seconds away from victory at Crown or Collapse before complete chaos broke out.
Chaos favors the prepared, and your war general Samantha is always prepared.
You know, it's funny. For months, people blamed me for everything. Every suspension, every controversy, every fight backstage, every decision, and yet, here we are. Packed arena, record attention on MHW, and most importantly, Adam Ball is the MHW World Champion. Boo all you want. You're booing success. I did what none of you could do. I brought order to chaos. Jeremiah was not robbed. Barry Leonard was not robbed. Joseph Wright was not robbed. They lost because Adam Ball was smarter than all of them.
Samantha isn't even trying to defend the controversy.
And tonight, because this company finally has a real champion, I have decided to scrap every single plan for tonight's show.
What?
That's right. Because tonight, we celebrate greatness. Tonight becomes a 1-hour MHW World Championship coronation for the scientist Adam Ball. Now please rise for your world champion.
1 hour of Adam Ball, wait a minute.
Do you see me now? Finally, I am free. I am reborn. It's my time.
Amy's here. Out of all the people I thought would interrupt Samantha, this was the last person on my list.
Oh great, here comes the family drama.
Amy, the general manager's sister, has made it a point to be one of the few people willing to challenge people verbally, but we have never seen her face to face with her sister.
Amy is very comfortable manipulating people herself. She makes Samantha look like a saint. However, if Amy is coming out to the ring, 9 times out of 10, someone has done something wrong.
Well, this has eclipsed an hour of Adam Ball talking.
Not funny.
Really, sister? You were really about to destroy the entire show. For a 1-hour celebration, that was your big plan after Crown or Collapse. 1 hour of you and Adam talking. Jeremiah and Barry Leonard deserve a rematch. Alexander just returned from suspension. Sokolov's attack still hasn't been solved. And instead of answers, you want balloons and champagne?
You really want to talk about me? Actually, Amy, let's talk about you. You've spent months hiding behind Jerome Sharp while pretending you care about this company. You whisper in people's ears. You manipulate talent. And worst of all, you have a secret. Tell them, Amy. Tell them about you and King Client.
You know what your problem is, Samantha? You think everybody else plays games the way you do. I didn't come out here to talk about King Client. I actually came out here because Jerome Sharp earned something at Crown or Collapse. And since you didn't plan for a show, it actually makes the offer easier. Jerome Sharp wants his MHW World Championship match against Adam Ball tonight.
Huge challenge laid out.
Jerome Sharp is walking into a massacre.
You know what? Fine. Main event tonight, Adam Ball versus Jerome Sharp for the MHW World Championship. But now, get out of my ring. I still have a celebration to host.
Samantha had a gun Amy wasn't prepared for.
Wait a minute. Oh no, now the television champion is out here.
Lance Jones may be my favorite superstar after what he did at Crown or Collapse. He got rid of Diego Munoz forever and established himself as the future of this company.
Well, Lance Jones did have a great showing that night in a high-stakes situation, but now the league is over and he has to defend that television championship more often.
No. Don't start celebrating it. Because Samantha, you owe me. I got rid of that fraud, Diego Munoz, at Crown or Collapse. I did exactly what you wanted, and I was promised something in return. A world championship opportunity. Because honestly, business would be a lot better off with me as the double champion.
Go on, Samantha, do something. Or are you scared of him too?
Lance, now is not the time.
No. I think now's the perfect time. Because everybody out here keeps talking about mysteries, Sokolov's attack, Jeremiah seconds away from tapping out at Crown or Collapse. Deep down, you people know he was going to tap, but something no one is mentioning is Alexander showing up behind you in the dark. And honestly, Samantha, people are starting to wonder if you had something to do with it.
Lance is pushing dangerous territory right now.
Maybe Alexander isn't the big, scary monster we all thought he was. Maybe you paid him off. Maybe Alexander only fights when you open the door for him. Hell, dude, maybe when the lights went out, you two did one thing and one thing only. Bang!
Damn!
Enough! You ruined my celebration. Alexander still hasn't paid for rejecting my offer, but if this roster wants opportunities so badly, then they can fight each other for it. I'll give these people 5 amazing shows. Because starting tonight, we begin a 16-man MHW Television Championship tournament. And Lance Jones, you will put your championship on the line because you will be in the tournament.
Samantha, you can't do this.
And before the main event tonight, your title defense, your first and last tournament match, will be against the returning Alexander.
Samantha!
What a start to MHW. Lance Jones has to defend the MHW television title in a 16-man tournament, and his tournament opponent is the undefeated Alexander. During that opening segment, complete chaos broke out backstage between Adam Ball and Jeremiah. Security officials, even roster members, had to pull those two apart before things got completely out of control.
Samantha might suspend Jeremiah before he ever gets near the World Championship again.
I spent my entire life on the mat. I represented my country at the highest level. Olympic gold, world championships, moments most athletes only dream of, and I never took any of it for granted. But people don't talk about how quickly it can end. I remember the exact moment it happened. It was a training session, nothing special, just preparation like any other day. A sharp snap in my leg, and I collapsed immediately. And I knew right away something inside me was gone. The doctors later told me it was a catastrophic ligament and structural tear. They said I was lucky to walk again, let alone compete. So I announced my retirement. For months, I asked myself one question: why? And eventually, I found out. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't fatigue. It was him, Omar Bijan. We had crossed paths before that day. He already had a reputation. Dangerous, unpredictable, always pushing limits that most athletes at least respected. But I challenged him, and he didn't respond like an athlete. he responded like an enemy. That injury was the result of that encounter.
Omar Bijan was already banned from Olympic competition by that point. They said it was for dangerous conduct, but everyone in the sport knew what that meant. He bit another competitor during a match. Not a mistake, not an accident, intentional. A moment that ended his Olympic career instantly. After that, he resurfaced in professional wrestling, and strangely, he thrived. In WWE, he rebuilt himself alongside Amaya Dawn, and Omar eventually captured the Asia World Championship. For a time, it looked like he had left the past behind him, but it didn't last. A controversial interview changed everything. Omar made public political remarks that triggered backlash across the company. And just like that, he was released. Amaya followed shortly after. Now, Samantha has brought Omar and Amaya to Mixed Honor Wrestling. But the question is, why?
With Diego Munoz gone, Hernandez Jr. steps into the first round of the MHW Television Championship Tournament alone. But against who? Hernandez Jr. standing alone tonight. No Diego Munoz by his side after what happened at Crown or Collapse. Wait a minute. Sokolov is in the tournament.
And now Hernandez has got to survive the first round of this tournament against
The
Sokolov.
following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 243 pounds, Sokolov!
For the first time since vacating the MHW World Championship after that mysterious parking lot attack, Sokolov is back in action.
And look at this crowd. They haven't forgotten him.
Nobody has. Sokolov never lost that championship in the ring. His reign ended because somebody took him out.
Still no answers either. No suspect, no evidence, nothing.
But Sokolov promised one thing before tonight. He said he wasn't coming back for sympathy.
He's coming back for revenge.
And now he enters the MHW Television Championship Tournament.
Honestly, that might be worse for the entire locker room.
And you have to wonder what kind of mindset Sokolov is in right now, months away from competition, stripped to the World Championship without ever losing it.
That changes people, Greg, especially somebody like Sokolov.
Hernandez Jr. showing courage here, but this is a nightmare draw.
Hernandez prayed before this match. He better pray harder.
Then here we go. Hernandez has got the speed advantage. Sokolov will have the size advantage. Months away from the ring after that attack, and he looks even more focused.
He looks angry. There's a difference.
And can you blame him? He was world champion. Then suddenly he's unconscious backstage. The title gets vacated, and the company moves on without answers.
Well, that's business.
That's not justice.
Justice doesn't win championships, Greg.
And on the other side, Hernandez Jr. trying to rebuild himself after losing Diego Munoz.
That's the real story here. Diego's gone, and now Hernandez has nobody.
These two were one of the closest partnerships in MHW.
And Lance Jones destroyed that. Diego's career ended. Hernandez got left behind. And now he's standing across from a monster.
But Hernandez Jr. has always fought with heart.
Heart doesn't stop suplexes.
No, but resilience might. And Hernandez Jr. is going to need every bit of it tonight. Oh my God! Sokolov just threw him over the top rope.
Hernandez Jr. launched out of the ring like he is Rey Mysterio.
Sokolov sends him hard into the corner, shoves him back in. Then German suplex.
Hernandez folded in half.
And Sokolov is building momentum now. Hernandez hasn't landed any offense since the opening bell.
He's throwing him around like training equipment.
Oh no, Sokolov's calling for more.
Hernandez can barely stand.
Hernandez Hernandez Jr. has been dismantled.
God,
Sokolov drags Hernandez to the center of the ring.
this one's over, and to be honest, Greg, we may as well hand him the championship. 3.
What a statement from Sokolov tonight.
That wasn't a wrestling match. That was controlled destruction.
Hernandez Jr. showed courage, but Sokolov looked unstoppable.
And now the entire tournament changes.
Sokolov is advancing, and if I'm Lance Jones or Alexander, I'm nervous.
This version of Sokolov might be more dangerous than the champion we saw before the attack.
He looks focused on winning, focused on revenge.
If somebody in that locker room really was responsible for the attack, be careful.
Here is your winner, Sokolov!
Sokolov celebrating his return tonight in dominant fashion.
And this crowd is fully behind him.
And there's the updated bracket.
Sokolov now gets the winner of Lance Jones versus Alexander.
That is a blockbuster second round match waiting to happen. Sokolov is back, and the television championship tournament just became terrifying. Listen to this reaction. Gloria shocked everybody at Crown or Collapse when she cracked Diana right with that chair.
And honestly, I think Gloria finally stopped pretending to be everybody else's victim.
Gloria, one question. Why did you do it? Why align yourself with Hannibal Moore and attack Diana Wright?
You all keep asking me why, like I committed some unforgivable crime. For years, I stood beside people who only cared about themselves. Miles embarrassed me publicly, treated me like I was disposable. Then when he was done with me, he walked away and left me looking stupid in front of the entire world. And Diana only ever wanted me around when it benefited her. She used me as emotional support while pretending she cared about me as a person. But Hannibal never lied to me. He never pretended to be some perfect hero. What you see is exactly what he is. And at Crown or Collapse, I made a choice. I stopped living for everybody else's approval.
So you don't regret what you did?
Regret? No. Because for the first time in my life, I feel respected. And now, Hannibal and I are going to take everything this company refused to give us. Respect, legitimacy, opportunity. And if people get hurt along the way, maybe they should have treated us better when they had the chance. Because I am a good person. I am a good person. And deep down, you know it.
Based on what she's just said, Evans, I don't even recognize Gloria anymore.
No, Greg, what you just heard is the real Gloria.
Why are you stopping me? Why won't you let me go hurt this guy right now? Hannibal put his hands on me again. And Gloria smashed that chair across Diana's head.
And that's exactly why you can't go out there angry. Listen to me. Diana's hurt bad, Joseph. The doctors told her she's dealing with a serious concussion and neck strain after Crown or Collapse. She told me this morning she can barely sleep. And you think she wants to watch you throw your career away for this?
I watched it happen.
You were fighting your own battle that night. And now Samantha's trying to make it worse. Because tonight, it's me versus you in the first round of the television championship tournament.
You're kidding.
No, that woman wants us distracted. Wants us fighting each other while Hannibal walks free. Listen, we don't give her any satisfaction tonight. We have the match. If Hannibal or the office tries anything, we are ready. After the match, we deal with Hannibal.
You survived Crown or Collapse.
Yeah, you two. Wouldn't have happened if you didn't back me up out there.
Don't mistake respect for friendship.
Wasn't planning to.
So who did Samantha give you?
Omar Bijan, tonight.
The guy in the video packages?
Former Olympian, former WWE SS champion. My new problem.
He bites people.
Good, makes two of us. What about you?
Lei Zhang, next week. He tapped out at Crown or Collapse. Men like Zhang don't forget humiliation.
Then I guess both our nights are about survival.
Oh, and one more thing. You owe me a favor.
Yeah, I know.
Good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the well-touted Omar Bijan, who already looks comfortable in there, and that's a dangerous sign for the rest of this tournament.
It's the wrestler Omar Bijan, Greg.
His opponent from Rapid City, South Dakota, weighing in at 240 pounds, Pain!
And now here comes Pain.
This guy walks like he's permanently angry at the world.
Can you blame him? Pain has had a lot of painful memories in tournament scenarios. Every time momentum starts building, something seems to go wrong.
Because Pain makes enemies everywhere he goes. He fights dirty, he talks dirty, and eventually it catches up to him.
But recently we've seen a different side of him through that strange alliance with Yuri Shibata.
I still don't trust either one of them.
Well, whether people trust them or not, Crown or Collapse prove they work well together under pressure.
Yeah, until they turn on each other. Guys like Pain don't build partnerships. They build temporary truces.
And tonight, Pain walks into a completely different kind of problem in Omar Bijan.
It's Omar Bijan, Greg. A violent Olympian with Amaya in his corner. Yeah, good luck with that.
Pain may be vicious, but Omar Bijan enjoys hurting people. There's a difference. We are seconds away from the first round of the MHW Television Championship Tournament. Pain versus Omar.
And this one could get ugly very fast.
And here we go, Pain versus Omar. Omar Bijan has already built a reputation in MHW for bending every rule possible.
He bends rules because he understands winning matters more than popularity.
Maya Dawn hasn't exactly helped either. Exposed turnbuckles, distractions, interference. She's involved constantly.
That's called intelligence.
And Pain isn't exactly innocent himself.
Absolutely not. Pain will cheap shot you, elbow you, bite you if he has to.
But unlike Omar, Pain doesn't hide what he is.
And yet, despite all that violence, Pain's career has been full of bad luck when opportunities matter most.
That's why tonight is huge for him. A win changes everything.
If Omar doesn't break him first.
And Pain knows this tournament might be his best opportunity yet to finally win championship gold in MHW. Right now, Omar is putting on a wrestling clinic against Pain, a German suplex on the floor.
Omar is starting to look like a future world champion here.
Omar is entering the ring now. The referee is fixing the turnbuckle. Wait a minute, Omar is... The Pain just countered the low blow with a knee to the face.
Greg, we have been looking to counter the forbidden low blow for years in wrestling. I forgot you can just knee them in the head.
And no, Omar kicks out at 2.
Omar's in big trouble here.
Pain is going for the crossface. Crossface applied by Pain.
Elbow right to the head, breaks it up. We are finding out if Omar can swim with the big sharks tonight.
Massive belly-to-belly slam from Omar.
1. What are we in Japan doing? Fighting spirit.
Omar is calling for it. He is setting up the camel clutch.
Great wrestlers like the Iron Sheik, Muhammad Hassan, Jinder Mahal have had legendary careers with similar holds.
Pain slips underneath and is fighting back against Omar. Omar goes for a kick, but Pain catches it. Pain has found life and energy down the stretch. Wait a minute, Omar with another German suplex to the floor.
Oh, God.
Both men are down outside the ring.
Pain is unconscious, and frankly, I don't think he's making it back into the ring.
Omar picks up Pain and chucks him towards the side of Amaya.
Pain has got 3 seconds before the ref rings the bell, declaring a count-out victory for Omar Bijan.
Wait, hold on, look at Amaya. She's thinking about interfering here. Pain needs to get up.
Smart referee catching it immediately.
The ref said 9. Pain needs to get in the ring now, and he does. Incredible resiliency by Pain.
Oh!
Devastating suplex.
Damn!
Omar Bijan has beaten Pain. Pain fought hard tonight, but Omar Bijan survives and advances in the Television Championship Tournament.
Survives. Greg, Omar threw this man around like scrap metal.
But once again, controversy follows Omar Bijan everywhere he goes. The attempted low blow, Amaya lurking outside the ring constantly.
Doesn't matter, the result is official.
And now Omar moves on to face either Joseph Wright or Samuel Katumba.
Whoever wins that match better be prepared for violence.
Here's your winner, the wrestler
Omar Bijan wins tonight as Amaya enters the ring.
Look at this duo. This is an image you need to get used to. That's a massive first-round victory for Omar Bijan.
There's the updated tournament bracket.
And Omar Bijan is one step closer to championship gold.
I did what you wanted. You got your title match tonight.
Yeah, respect for that.
Can I ask you something?
Depends what it is.
Why are you still here with me after everything you know about me? After everything Samantha said out there? You know I've lied to people, manipulated people. You know there's things about me nobody understands. So why stay?
Because when everybody else talks about you, they talk like you're some kind of monster. But when I look at you, I see somebody trying not to drown in all this madness. And maybe I'm stupid, yeah, but I don't think you're evil. I think you're scared. But I need you to promise me one thing.
What is it?
Promise me what you said about King Clion is true.
It is.
You swear?
I swear, fam.
Never do that again.
Fine.
And we are just getting word now from the office. Jeremiah has officially been suspended indefinitely following the backstage altercation with Adam Ball earlier tonight.
Two close men collide tonight in the MHW Television Championship Tournament.
And only one of them moves on.
This one feels personal, not because of hatred, but because of everything these two men have been through together.
Friendship doesn't matter once the bell rings.
Here comes Joseph Wright, and emotionally this might be the toughest night of his career.
It's scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Kampala, Uganda, weighing in at 286 pounds, Joseph Wright.
Hannibal Moore humiliated him at Crown or Collapse. Diana got taken out with that chair shot from Gloria, and now Joseph has to somehow stay focused.
And despite all of that, Joseph still chose not to go after Hannibal earlier tonight.
Which I think is stupid.
No, it shows discipline. Joseph Wright understands championships can change careers.
And if he wins this tournament, maybe he finally gets some control back in his life.
Especially after everything that's happened to him personally these last few weeks.
Because right now, Joseph Wright looks like a man carrying anger, guilt, and pressure all at the same time.
Joseph waiting patiently now.
But I guarantee he hates what he's about to do.
This is the return to in-ring competition for Samuel Katumba.
This is the definition of bad matchmaking by Samantha.
Not just bad matchmaking, but a bad stylistic matchup for Samuel Katumba.
And his opponent from Kampala, Uganda, weighing in at 210 pounds, Samuel.
These two men came into MHW together. They fought beside each other, traveled together, survived together.
And tonight, they beat each other up for a championship opportunity.
Samuel's been one of the most respected competitors in this company since day one.
Yeah, but he's also been overlooked constantly.
The television championship would mean everything to both of these men.
And Samantha knows that. That's why she put them against each other.
She's forcing two good men into a situation neither of them wanted.
That's how tournaments work, Greg. Feelings don't matter.
But Samantha absolutely knew the emotional damage this match could cause.
And part of me thinks she enjoyed making it.
Meanwhile, Hannibal Moore gets to sit back and watch all of this unfold from a distance.
Joseph and Samuel fight each other while Hannibal stays fresh and dangerous.
And that's what makes the office so effective. They create chaos without even stepping into the ring. Here we go, Joseph Wright versus Samuel Katumba. Neither man wants to hurt each other. However, the MHW television title is on the line in this tournament.
They may not want to, but eventually somebody has to win.
And all of this comes just days after Crown or Collapse, where Joseph Wright watched Diana get smashed in the head with a steel chair by Gloria.
And Hannibal Moore has become a serious problem for both men.
The Office has manipulated nearly every part of their careers recently.
Because the Office knows these two are dangerous when united.
But tonight, unity doesn't matter. Tonight, it's survival.
And that television championship represents more than gold. For Joseph and Samuel, it represents validation.
A chance to finally become the face of this company.
And tonight, one of them takes a massive step toward doing exactly that.
While the other is left wondering how long opportunities like this take to come back around, Samuel's fighting out with those elbows.
Oh!
The paradise kick, he got him.
Count it.
No, a 2 count. Joseph barely kicks out.
See, Greg, Samuel was trying to beat him. He was scheming all along.
Looking for the stomp. Joseph held on to the ropes.
Damn!
Right answer by Joseph. A 2 count only.
And somehow Samuel survives.
Massive heel throw across the ring.
Joseph is throwing him around now. Joseph is fulfilling his potential tonight. Damn!
Another right answer.
He got it.
What a battle between two men that know each other so well.
And in the end, power won.
Samuel Katumba pushed Joseph Wright to the limit tonight.
But Joseph Wright is starting to look like a real contender in this tournament.
If Joseph can stay emotionally focused through everything happening around him, he may be unstoppable.
And his next problem is Omar Bijan, which means the violence is only getting worse from here.
Here's your winner, Joseph Wright.
Joseph Wright celebrating, but you can tell there's mixed emotions.
Winning against your friend never feels clean.
And Samuel Katumba gave him absolutely everything tonight.
Now Joseph moves forward in this tournament carrying momentum and a very dangerous amount of emotion.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Sokolov. Sokolov, tonight was your first match back since the attack that forced you to vacate the MHW World Championship. What do you remember from that night?
I remember pain. I remember leaving the building. I remember hearing footsteps behind me. And then I remember waking up in hospital.
What injuries did you suffer?
Severe trauma to the back of my head. Swelling around my brain. Doctors told me one more impact could have changed my life. For weeks, I could not train, could not sleep properly, could not even trust my own balance. They took my championship from me without pinning me or submitting me. So now I come back for 2 reasons. To reclaim what belongs to me, and to find the coward who attacked me.
You know, I'll actually give you credit. You came back stronger than most people expected. But let me clear something up. I didn't attack you that night. At the time, I was too busy dealing with my own employment issues. But whoever did attack you, I absolutely love them for it.
You speak too comfortably for a man standing this close to me, so listen carefully. If I ever discover you are involved, I will send you to the hospital.
You got real comfortable acting like you're untouchable after Crown or Collapse. I'm trying to understand how a guy suspended for steroids suddenly walks back into this company acting like he earned something. But before that, your best pal Sokolov was attacked in a parking lot. The lights go out around Samantha, and somehow your name keeps popping up around every shady thing happening in MHW. You cheated to beat me, and if you didn't cheat at Crown or Collapse, I would have beaten you. You know what I keep asking myself? Why am I not kicking your ass right now?
Because deep down, you know I was better. So instead of wasting energy back here, make sure you reach the final of the television championship tournament. Then we face again, and I embarrass you again.
Next time there won't be excuses, suspensions, or hidden shortcuts. I'm going to make a promise to God himself. Next time you and I are in the same ring together, I will expose you.
Barry Leonard. Be careful.
He just told an Olympian to be careful, Greg.
The MHW Television Championship is on the line next.
And Lance Jones may have just walked into the most dangerous defense of his entire reign.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Mixed Honor Wrestling Television Championship.
ALEKSANDR returns from suspension tonight with an opportunity to immediately change the landscape of MHW.
Or completely destroy it.
Listen to this reaction for ALEKSANDR.
Yeah, half these people love him and half of them think he's a dangerous psychopath.
Since returning from suspension, the questions around ALEKSANDR have only grown louder.
Especially after that bizarre moment with Samantha at Crown or Collapse.
And the mystery surrounding Sokolov's attack still hangs over this entire company.
You can speculate all you want, but what nobody can deny is this man dominated the league before suspension.
ALEKSANDR looked nearly unstoppable.
And tonight he gets a television championship opportunity because Lance Jones couldn't stop running his mouth earlier tonight.
And regardless of how people feel about ALEKSANDR personally, opportunities like this don't come around often.
Especially not against a champion as experienced as Lance Jones.
This could completely change the direction of the entire tournament.
And imagine the statement ALEKSANDR makes if he walks back from suspension and immediately wins championship gold.
Lance Jones enters tonight knowing one mistake could end his entire championship reign.
And judging by the look on his face earlier, he knows Samantha may have thrown him into the deep end tonight.
Lance Jones has held the MHW Television Championship longer than anybody expected.
Because he's smarter than people give him credit for.
Or because he constantly survives through controversy.
Survival is part of being champion.
Lance demanded a world title opportunity earlier tonight, and instead Samantha put him into a nightmare.
You can actually see the frustration on his face.
And despite everything people say about Lance Jones, he has defended this championship against some incredibly dangerous competition.
Yeah, but ALEKSANDR might be the most physically terrifying opponent he's faced yet.
And Lance has made a career out of surviving situations where people counted him out.
Usually because he bends every rule imaginable.
But championships create pressure, and tonight Lance looks genuinely uncomfortable.
Well, for once, he can't talk his way out of this.
Earlier tonight, he publicly embarrassed Samantha, questioned her authority, even accused her of involvement in Sokolov's attack.
And now he's standing across the ring from a man Samantha clearly has unresolved issues with.
That's what makes this whole situation so volatile.
And if Lance loses tonight, he may realize too late that making Samantha angry was the dumbest thing he's ever done.
And there's another layer to this too. ALEKSANDR already feels like a man fighting against the company itself.
Which makes him even more dangerous.
Because when somebody with his size and ability starts believing the system is against him, things can spiral quickly.
And Lance Jones might end up being collateral damage in all of it.
The atmosphere in this building feels completely different right now.
Because deep down, everybody watching thinks we may be moments away from a new television champion.
Introducing the challenger from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 247 pounds, ALEKSANDR! And his opponent from Jacksonville, Florida, weighing in at 230 pounds, the Mixed Honor Wrestling Television Champion, the Wonder Lance Jones.
big fight atmosphere right now.
One mistake tonight changes everything.
Lance Jones versus Alexander for the MHW television title. And here we go. This is Alexander's first official match back following his suspension.
But somehow, suspension isn't even the biggest mystery around him anymore.
The Sokolov attacks in a parking lot. The lights going out at Crown or Collapse. Samantha clearly rattled by Alexander's presence.
There's something strange happening around this man.
But when it comes to pure competition, Alexander was dominating MHW before everything stopped.
And Lance Jones knows it.
Lance has built an incredible television championship reign, but tonight might be the most pressure he's ever faced.
Especially because this match only happened after Lance publicly embarrassed Samantha earlier tonight.
And now Samantha may have accidentally handed Alexander the television championship.
If Lance loses tonight, he may never forgive himself for opening his mouth.
Alexander is bigger, stronger, and right now he looks completely locked in mentally.
And that's terrifying considering everything surrounding this man outside the ring.
The suspension, the accusations, the tension with Samantha, the unanswered questions around Sokolov.
Yeah, but once that bell rings, none of the conspiracy stuff matters if Alexander tears your head off.
And Lance Jones may be finding that out in real time.
Well, to me, it looks like Lance Jones has learned lessons from his previous encounter with Alexander.
For the first time in a long time, the television champion looks overwhelmed.
And Alexander is only getting more dangerous the longer this match goes.
Alexander exploding back into this match. Two huge clotheslines.
Lance swings and misses wildly.
Scoop slam by Alexander.
2 count only, and Alexander nearly wins the title right there.
Alexander is picking up Lance Jones, but Lance counters.
Damn!
Codebreaker by Lance Jones.
Wait, no, why didn't Lance cover him? This could have been over.
Alexander catches Lance and is taking him on the ride of pain.
The match could be stopped here. Lance is not defending himself.
3 consecutive Germans.
We are almost at the finish line.
And no, the champion survives.
Lance has put up a better showing in this match than last time, but Alexander is stalking him now.
Alexander looking for another German, but Lance hits him with a left.
Lance goes for his signature, but Alexander elbows his knee.
Wait, Alexander has got him up. Alexander slam. Alexander has done it.
Damn!
We have a new champion. Alexander just defeated Lance Jones.
I cannot believe what we just saw.
Lance Jones threw everything he had at Alexander tonight, and it wasn't enough.
Alexander looked terrifying in that final stretch.
And after all the controversy, suspension, and rumors, Alexander may have just reclaimed his dominance over MHW.
Lance Jones got flattened in those final moments.
And right now, we may be witnessing the beginning of a completely new era.
Here is your winner, and new Mixed Honor.
Oh no.
What now?
Cut the music. Stop this. Stop this now. Do not give him that championship. Alexander, you knew tonight you needed to be perfect. And honestly, you almost were. But unfortunately for you, almost isn't good enough. Roll the footage.
Well, Alexander is pressuring here. Body shot, then collar and elbow tie-up. Wait a minute. Oh, no.
Right there. The closer you look, the more that starts looking less like a body shot and more like a low blow. The referee missed the illegal strike, so due to illegal contact, the winner by disqualification, and still your MHW television champion, Lance Jones.
You have got to be kidding me.
Greg, Samantha is running.
Samantha may have just made the biggest mistake of her career, messing with Alexander.
Jerome, who are those guys?
Raw. Jerome's really out here with a new girlfriend.
Thought Jerome forgot where he came from. Nah, look at him. He remembers.
You know them?
No.
Here is your winner, hailing from the City of Lights, Paris, France, the sensation, René!
Depuis toujours, mon rêve,
MHW World Championship is on the line tonight.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Mixed Honor Wrestling World Championship.
Jerome Sharp earned this opportunity at Crown or Collapse.
And now he's got the toughest challenge of his career.
Listen to this crowd for Jerome Sharp.
These people love him for some reason.
Jerome has fought through chaos to get here tonight.
Yeah, including whatever weird situation happened backstage earlier with those 9-time drillers people.
Jerome flat out denied knowing them.
And nobody believed him.
But tonight may be the biggest opportunity of Jerome Sharp's entire career.
And Amy's right beside him again.
The relationship between Jerome and Amy has become one of the most talked about stories in MHW.
Mostly because nobody knows if Amy can actually be trusted.
Well, Jerome clearly trusts her.
That might end up being the biggest mistake of his life.
Jerome has all the athletic ability in the world, but tonight he faces the most dangerous version of Adam Ball we've ever seen.
And the scary part is Adam Ball finally has power behind him now.
The world champion has completely changed the way he carries himself.
He doesn't wrestle like a challenger anymore. He wrestles like somebody who thinks this company belongs to him.
And Jerome Sharp understands how important this opportunity really is.
Because chances at the World Championship don't come around often in MHW.
Especially with Samantha in the office controlling so much of what happens around this company.
Jerome may honestly be fighting more than just Adam Ball tonight.
And despite everything surrounding Amy, Jerome chose to trust her at his side in the biggest match of his career.
Yeah, but trust can become dangerous very quickly around here.
One way or another, Jerome Sharp's life changes tonight.
And you can feel the pressure building inside this arena already.
Because for Jerome Sharp, this isn't just about winning a championship.
It's about proving he belongs at the very top of Mixed Honor Wrestling.
And now the MHW World Champion.
The scientist arrives alone tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Adam Ball. Adam Ball captured the MHW World Championship at Crown or Collapse in one of the most controversial endings we've ever witnessed.
Controversial or not, he won.
Jeremiah looked moments away from victory before everything collapsed into chaos.
And Adam Ball took advantage. That's what champions do.
And earlier tonight, tensions exploded backstage between Adam and Jeremiah again.
Because Jeremiah can't accept reality.
The reality being Adam Ball constantly finds ways to bend the rules in his favor.
He bends rules because he's smarter than everybody else.
Tonight he walks into another dangerous defense against a challenger with absolutely nothing to lose.
And honestly, that makes Jerome Sharp unpredictable.
When somebody reaches this level for the first time, sometimes they become even more dangerous than the champion himself.
Introducing the challenger from London, England, weighing in at 220 pounds, Jerome Sharp. And his opponent from Seattle, Washington, weighing in at 228 pounds, the Mixed Honor Wrestling World Champion, the Scientist, Adam Ball.
Big match feel inside the MHW theater.
One mistake changes everything here.
Adam Ball versus Jerome Sharp for the MHW World Championship. And here we go. Jerome Sharp has been waiting for a moment like this his entire career.
And tonight he's got Amy in his corner again.
The chemistry between those two has been fascinating to watch.
Or dangerous.
Earlier tonight, Jerome denied knowing the 9-time drillers despite their clear reaction to seeing him backstage.
Yeah, something about that whole situation felt off.
But Jerome has stayed focused despite all the distractions around him.
Unlike Adam Ball, who thrives in chaos.
Adam became world champion at Crown or Collapse through controversy, interference, and confusion.
Still counts.
And earlier tonight, Adam was involved in another backstage fight with Jeremiah that had to be broken up by officials.
That's because Jeremiah is obsessed.
Well, a lot of people still believe Jeremiah was robbed.
And Adam Ball enjoys reminding people he's champion every chance he gets.
The problem is Adam constantly pushes the line in matches.
That's called intelligence.
No, it's called cheating.
Call it whatever you want, Greg. The title is around Adam Ball's waist.
And Jerome Sharp knows he can't allow this match to fall into chaos.
Because chaos favors Adam Ball every single time.
That's why Jerome has stayed aggressive early, trying to keep the champion uncomfortable.
Meanwhile, Adam is waiting for one mistake, one opening.
And with the World Championship on the line, one mistake is all it takes.
And Jerome Sharp cannot afford to give him either because Adam Ball will punish it instantly. That's the difference between a contender and a champion.
Jerome has picked up momentum. Jerome leapfrogs to the top rope.
There's going to be a parade if Jerome wins this.
Sharp salt.
He got all of it.
No, Adam Ball survives.
Jerome Sharp just threw everything he had at the champion.
Jerome is looking to finish it. Adam is far out of reach. The prescription.
He got him.
No, Jerome Sharp kicks out.
Incredible.
Spear through the ropes.
Jerome driven to the floor.
Wait, what is Adam doing? He just clotheslined the referee. Adam Ball just took out the official intentionally.
Oh my God.
King Lion. Chair shot to Jerome Sharp.
And look at Amy, she is frozen.
King Klein standing directly at Amy after that chair shot.
This is Amy's worst nightmare.
Klein throws Jerome back into the ring.
And now he's leaving.
Jerome Sharp's dream might be over. Adam Ball is setting up another prescription.
Good God.
Adam Ball retains the World Championship.
Adam Ball survives again, Greg.
Jerome Sharp had this match won multiple times tonight.
But King Klein changed everything with that chair shot.
And Amy looked completely shocked by what happened.
Well, now the questions get even bigger.
Because King Klein may have just destroyed Jerome Sharp's biggest opportunity and sent a message directly to Amy at the same time.
That message being stay out of my way for the foreseeable future.
Here is your winner, and still Mixed Honor Wrestling World Champion, the Scientist, Adam Ball.
Adam Ball standing tall once again as MHW World Champion.
And whether people like it or not, the Scientist continues to find ways to win.
But every championship defense creates more enemies around him.
Yeah, but tonight the title stays with Adam Ball.
Jerome Sharp might never get another shot at Adam Ball like this again.
And next week, Jerome Sharp will get his answers one way or another.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you. If Alexander had found me back there, I don't even want to think about what would have happened. You did the right thing. I won't forget this. I can get you a contract, locker room access, whatever you want, just name it. So, who are you?
Detective J.
Oh, shit.